So do these home devices for lumbar spinal traction or decompression actually work? I've had some thoughts in the past, but more recently I've had a change in heart and I've been curious, can this actually replace what you find in a decompression clinic? And is it good for stiff and achy backs? I've got a stiff and achy back and I would love to be able to jump on a machine at home, get some relief, and then get back to doing my day instead of having to drive somewhere and sit in this big device. And so can this device replace that? And is it actually good for lower backs? So if you've considered going somewhere and getting your spine decompressed in a big unit or a chair or something like that, two things. There's two types of commitments there. One, you're gonna have a time commitment. You have a time commitment to wherever you're going there and then on your way home. And the second commitment being financially. Like, how much is it per session? How much are you signing up for? Or can you just go when you want? And so recently I've had a patient that I feel like has been a great person and a great candidate for this type of traction unit, but we were coming across those two barriers of getting there and then financially, and we were curious, can this device actually replace what's there, and is this something that's actually a good alternative, a safe alternative to do at home? So I've got two angles here. One, was this appropriate for my patient, and is it actually safe to do at home on your own when you don't have the knowledge of, let's say I do, because I am a doctor of physical therapy, I treat backs all the time, and I've always been curious about traction, but is it safe, is it effective, and will it help me personally with my stiff and achy lower back? And I'm gonna go over kind of what I've learned when writing my book about traction units, and then also how to actually use it to make sure that you're being safe and effective. So let me be honest with you. When I was writing my book, Revision Sciatica, there's a good section on traction. And when I looked at the literature regarding traction units that you can find at home or traction units and decompression units that you can go to at the clinic, those devices do actually result in millimeters of change in your back. And so if you think of your spine, whether you're dealing with arthritis or stenosis or sciatica, these things are space issues. And when you start to lose space in your back, you start to have stiffness and achiness, and you may even lose a couple inches throughout your lifetime because that space is decreasing. And so traction and decompression units do actually improve in the space, and we know this. But what they don't do is they don't make you more flexible, they don't make you stronger or more resilient, and you still have to work on those things. And so that's why my book could be a good reference, because it tells you where to insert traction in your back pain management and your back stiffness management, and how to make it more effective for you. So like I said, it's not gonna make you more flexible or stronger, but it can reduce pain. And is it actually effective for that? Well, first I would want to make sure this thing is a very sturdy piece of construction. And it is. It's made out of steel. Putting together was fairly easy. There's no rust or anything on it. It looks good. It felt good. It's heavy. Those are the things that I would expect in a good traction unit. So I've been in the traction units or the inversion tables that you can have at home that you hang upside down. This is not that. This is actually so much better because you don't have to hang upside down. You're in control of the entire force the entire time. You can go and change positions until you feel it. And so what was different for me was that I could change the position of my body to feel it more, but if you're on an inversion table, you can't really position yourself any differently, and you're leveraged at your knees and ankles to get the force of gravity, where this is more of a pulling sensation. And so instead of a traditional unit where you're kind of going up and down, this one is like a pulling sensation in the lower back. And I'm telling you, I felt it right away, but positioning was key. And I'm gonna go over that positioning when you see me get in this device. So when I had my patient do a device like this, him and I were in an agreement in that it was very easy to use. You could walk up to it and use it anytime. There was no blood rush to your head. It was effective. I could feel the stretch in my lower back, and he could feel it too. And he used this to manage his discomfort. And I knew I had to try this device. And so then I bought it, and now I'm here to experience it for myself. And so what I really like about this device is that you can walk up to it and just go into it right away. There is no prep. There is no driving anywhere. It is in your house. You could do this. Also, there is no blood rush to your head, and you don't have to leverage at your ankles or your knees. This is good if you have any type of history of back pain, if you have knee surgery, hip surgery, ankle surgery, you could do all of that. What I will tell you though is that you do have to have some patience with the positioning. Because you're not hanging upside down in gravity, you're doing more of a pulling sensation this way. You're gonna have to be specific with the positioning. So you're gonna want the belt at your hips. You're gonna want your feet underneath your hips. You're gonna want to start further back and lean into it. Don't do that. So bring your feet up to it. you're going to reach down for the handles here. All the way down here, you're gonna bring the pads underneath your shoulders. And what's great is that this strap, which is supposed to be right at your hip crease, can be adjusted up or down. It goes underneath the shoulders. So if you have any history of rotator cuff stuff, right, just keep the shoulders tight. Hands here, and I'm not pulling down or anything, I'm just relaxing. And what I do is I kind of shimmy my feet forward, get ready for that leverage of the belt. And as I'm pulling forward, I'm doing a little downward pressure with my elbows. Oh, guys, and I'm not kidding you. I feel this in my lower back. Now, what you notice here is I'm not going down all the way. The ease and control of this is a benefit, right? And so first I can start here, and then over time as I relax, I can put my face down into these nice little pads here, and I can go into the stretch. And I'm kind of pulling, not with my hands, but I'm kind of pushing down with my elbows with that strap, and I'm getting that good sensation. And for me, it's that 90-degree angle right there. It feels really good. I'm able to control every bit of this. You can change the intensity by pulling down more. You can change the duration by simply just getting out of it when you want to get out of it. And instead of paying, I don't know, 50, 75, 100 bucks each session going somewhere, you can get a good decompression here. Now that I've been here a minute or so, I can feel the strap on my hips. I do want to take a break from that. Just readjust, shimmy, shimmy, and then go forward. Now, remember when I said earlier, millimeters of change in the lower back, and we know that decompression devices can do that. And since this leverages your body weight, I'm expecting you'll have some good success here as well. Now, what's great about this is that you can go and do it whenever you want. But then people always ask me, how long should I do it? I would definitely start with a minute or two, have a timer, or just go into it. You can't necessarily overdo it. But if you're not used to doing it, when I get out of it, I could definitely feel that I stretched out my lower back. But what the research showed with the traction devices is that you're going to want to get into the traction device whenever you need to. It can be done multiple times a day. It's going to improve the separation in the spine, but then you're going to follow it up with strengthening and stretching. So like I was saying, following up with strengthening and stretching is key. When you look at the research, the best traction results possible, it's do some sort of stretch or walking, do the traction unit, and get to the strengthening if you're feeling good. And you have to include all of those things. And I include every step of that in my book, Revision Sciatica. So check that out if you're looking for some specific stretches and strengthening exercises to do. So let's break this down. It's a great device, especially for the cost. I immediately felt this in my lower back. For 170 to 200 bucks, this is a great device. And I'll put this device in the description. When you should not use this device is that if you have a recent surgery in your back, or if you have some sort of incision over your hips. If I was a total hip replacement right away, I wouldn't be using that because this incision's right there. But there's just some examples. So recent back surgery or surgery that would involve this machine. If you have a grade 5 spondy, if you have acute slippage in your back and they're like, hey, you need an immediate fusion, I probably wouldn't be using the traction device. But what's great about this device is that you can have a history of knee replacements, hip replacements, and still be okay with this. And if you have a history of hypertension and you have difficulties bending over or afraid of getting dizzy, this machine is absolutely safe. So if it were me and I was looking for a traction device to use at home, I would definitely get something like this. It's a no-brainer. For the cost, for the benefit, cost-benefit analysis there, it's definitely worth it. It may not be your cure, but remember, when you combine traction with stretching and strengthening and mobility work, it's absolutely a game changer for people experiencing back pain. So you can use this as part of your short-term management strategy or your long-term management strategy. Okay, so this could be a great device to use. You could use it anytime. You could just have this set up in your house, be part of that management strategy for your low back pain and stiffness and achiness. Remember, it's not the end-all be-all. You should still be doing mobility, stretching, and other work that I cover in my book. But that's kind of the best case scenario, is that you can have this relatively inexpensive device, use it when you want, avoid having to go somewhere and sign up and pay, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Most of the time with traction, it's kind of a long-term management. So you want something available to you whenever you need it. And this could be a great way to do that. So I'm absolutely going to be using this to treat some of my stiffness and achiness and let it be like a low threshold of entry of traction devices for my patients. It's going to be a great way for people to manage. Now, if you have a history specifically related to stenosis and you're considering traction devices, check out my next video. I'm going to go over exactly what I'm going to be doing with a client of mine who struggles with stenosis and how we're going to use this device to manage their pain, not only now, but in the future. But if you guys have any questions regarding this device or how to use it, or specifically frequency and duration, like just comment on the video. I'll get to you. I think it's important to do this because it can be a great way to manage your back pain over time. But as always, guys, stay healthy, keep moving, and take care of yourself.